William Ruto himself owned vast tracts of land across the country, from Narok, Kajiado, Nairobi, and the coast. Much of that land was illegally acquired.
Hiyo shamba inafenziwa kesho. Let me tell you for free. I know you don't like unataka kusema unataka kujua sawa?
Oh, pole. Nilikuwa nafikiri unaleta salamu.
Shamba itafenziwa kesho, sawa? So tafuteni hiyo huligani yenu mlete mkitaka mkipike marisa, sawa? But kesho I'll be there. Unanipata vizuri?
Asante sana boss.
Tafuta hiyo citizen unatafutanga na hiyo media yote kuwa hapo. Kesho I'll be there na shamba itafenziwa kesho. Sawa?
As you might have heard, those are the words of none other than Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga commenting on matters land held by President William Ruto. As of currently, we know that there is an unfolding war that has been brewing which led to the death of 5 people yesterday in Narok, where these people were killed on the claims that they had invaded somebody's land. Now, according to the details that we have, the 5 people were killed and several others injured on Monday during violent clashes between residents and police at Angata Barikoi Mayoi in Transmara, Narok County. The deadly confrontation erupted when police attempted to stop tens of protesters who were demonstrating against the grabbing of 10,000 acres of land alleged by a senior government official, and more so, it was alleged that the land was grabbed by none other than the Narok governor, Olentoto. Now, Agata Barikoi MCA Joseph Koech said that a scuffle ensued after surveyors accompanied by heavy security personnel arrived at the disputed land. He alleged that Deputy County Commissioner Habde Akim Jubat and the area OSPD Bashir Hali sent the surveyors. The media could not independently confirm the allegation. Now, efforts to obtain comments from Jubat Transmara Land Registrar Tom Chepkoech and the Sub-County Police Commander were unsuccessful as their phones were switched off. Now, quoting what Koech said, I condemn in the strongest term possible what unfolded here. The police used excessive force and live bullets to disperse innocent residents who were agitating for their rights. As we speak right now, tension is high in the area, but I urge our people to remain calm. Now, area residents expressed their anger following the government's action. Joseph Kirui, one of the people living there, said we hold the government accountable for using excessive force. The deputy commissioner, county commissioner, and the land registrar should be held culpable for the shooting. Now, he accused the government of defying court order by deploying surveyors to the disputed 2,472 acres of land. The land in question is claimed by 448 families who have been farming there for decades. Koech emphasized that families possess genuine title deeds and have occupied the land since 2002, having been issued the title deeds under former President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. The government should obey the court order and stop the delineation of boundaries. Nobody is above the law and the government must respect these title deeds. Panic engulfed families as surveyors from the Minister of Lands, land adjudication officers, and the land registrar from Kilgoris arrived in the area and erected beacons despite an existing court order. Justice Waswa prohibited the government from interfering with the land until a petition filed by Samuel Kipkoros Cheruiyot and Philip Sigei on behalf of the families had been heard and determined. The 448 families in the suit shall remain in occupation of their parcels and shall not let subdivide or part with possession of the suit property, the judge stated. As per practice direction number 28K of the Gazette Notice number 5178/2014, pending the hearing of the applicant's request dated November 25th, 2024, an order for maintaining the status quo was thereby issued. That meant that the first defendant as registered owners shall remain so in the record and shall not subdivide or transfer the suit property transmara mayoi to third parties. The status quo order were not intended to evict any party already in occupation, nor and were not meant to facilitate the invasion of the suit property by third parties at the behest of the families or any other parties. Now, the bodies of the deceased who were killed yesterday were taken to the Agata Health Care Center mortuary, while those injured are currently recovering in the same facility. Now, according to Joel Langat, the officer in charge at Angata Barkoi Health Center, 4 individuals were brought dead. The fifth succumbed to gunshot wounds while receiving treatment. 2 police officers were also injured. One had a arrow logged in his head, and the other was wounded in the hip. Several critical injured civilians were transferred to Lolgorian and Kilgoris level 4 hospitals for specialized care during the skirmishes. Angry protests set on fire several vehicles belonging to various state departments, a symbolic act of defiance against the state involvement in the land dispute. Now, Emuria Dikir MP Joanna Ngeno yesterday, who rushed to the scene, urged residents to remain calm. He demanded to know why police were using live bullets against innocent civilians, saying the use of excessive force was uncalled for. The police later dispersed crowds gathered outside the health center and amid fears that some locals were planning to retaliate against injured officers being treated at the facility. Now, community elders and local leaders have since called for immediate dialogue and the suspension of any further demarcation activities until an independent investigation is conducted. At the time of the clashes, senior county officials, including Governor Patrick Olentutu and several members of parliament, were reportedly in a closed-door meeting in the county. Commissioner's office in Narok town planning for President William Ruto's visit scheduled for May 6th and 7th next month. Now, Governor Tutu later announced that he and the county security team were heading to Angata Barkoi to engage with the community, assess the damage and investigate the circumstances surrounding the deaths. But one thing that we all must agree right now is that this is not an issue that we all should despise. It's not an issue that we can just rub off and say we have settled the issue amicably. No. As of right now, we know that this issue is an issue that is currently going on. Now, as we speak, top security bosses have visited the troubled Kilgoris region after the land dispute that killed 5 people yesterday. Now, one thing that you must know, President William Ruto is a resident of Kilgoris because he owns a multi-billion palatial home there. And most of the time, we have seen the president taking his delegates over there, holding a meeting over there, and all that. So there is some certain allegations that are coming that Bwana William Ruto has a great play in the said dispute. Now, one Rigathi Gachagua yesterday went ahead to swear that he is going to expose leaders behind the said Angata Barkoi clashes. Now, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua strongly condemned the killing of the 5 people and the injury of several others during the violent confrontation over land dispute, the 6,000 acres piece of land in Angata Barkoi in Narok County. Now, taking to his X account on Monday, night April 28th, Gachagua expressed deep sorrow over the loss of lives and described the violent displacement of residents as a crime against humanity. He vowed to gather evidence, name and shame those responsible, and insisted that the culprits must be held fully accountable. I quote him, "My heart goes out to the families of the 5 innocent people who have been shot dead and several people have been injured in Angata Barkoi over the 6,000 acre piece of land. which rightfully belongs to the citizens who have occupied the land for several decades. Gachagua said this forceful displacement of population is a crime against humanity, and whoever is culpable must face crimes against humanity. I am gathering evidence and information on this matter, and we will name and shame those responsible for this heinous act. Now, Gachagua further slammed what he described as the insatiable appetite of certain leaders for grabbing land and amassing wealth at the expense of ordinary citizens who have lived on the land for decades. Now, Kipchumba Murkomen, when asked about that, he went ahead to speak about it. Gachagua also went ahead to condemn the police involvement. The former DP questioned the use of excessive police force against civilians, demanding to know who gave the shoot to kill orders and who deployed specialized police units like the GSU, General Service Unit, and RDU, Rapid Deployment Unit, to the area. He described the use of the lethal force on women, children, and innocent civilians as archaic brutality that had no place in a modern day democratic society. Mm. Now, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen condemned the deadly clashes in Agata Barkoi, Narok County, noting that preliminary reports indicated that 5 people had been killed. However, the CS maintained that he could not authoritatively confirm the numbers, revealing that calm had not been restored in Agata Barkoi. This is a very sad occurrence for us in the national security team, because we must make sure that lives are protected. Sometimes I hear Kipchumba Murkomen speaking and it gives me jitters. Sometimes I feel like even vomiting, because this man doesn't know the docket that he holds, how crucial he is to the Republic of Kenya. He goes ahead to mess around with it. But one thing, there is also a clip of the said deputy county commissioner, who was giving a warning to the people of Agata Barkoi yesterday, warning them that if they go ahead to appear at the said lad fencing, then lives will be lost. And you hear police saying that they don't have evidence to prosecute those that were involved. Na ndio maana Raila Amolo Odinga katika clip tulioanza nayo alisema William Ruto anamiliki land in Kajiado, land in Narok, and this land have been acquired through fishermen. Kwa sasa, watazamaji, ningetaka aswa kusikia maoni yako kwa hili. Achia maoni kwenye comment section. And do you think that apart from Governor Ole Ntutu, that the president of the day is involved in these scuffle? Leave a comment on the comment section.